Foodie, hi and welcome. I'm Anna, the Keto Foodie, and today for Foodie Friday, we are making one of my favorite dishes, and actually it was a friend of mine who reminded me that this needs to happen, and it is beautiful comfort food for when the days and the nights turn colder, when you're not feeling so well. So it's around Christmas time, around New Year's, you can always have a pot of this made for just anytime you want to feel good and comfy and warm. What am I making? I'm making Puerto Rican style asopao or chicken gumbo. And yes, I'm making it not with rice, with cauliflower rice. So stick around, I'll show you how to do it.
Okay, so this is not a difficult dish, but it does have more ingredients than you see here. So please watch the entire video because I add them along the way. But to start off with, we have 1 kilogram of chicken thighs that have been cut into pieces. Next, we have 60 grams of yellow onion or brown onion here in the UK that has been finely chopped. We also have 80 grams, or about half of a large green bell pepper that has been finely chopped. We add 1 chicken bouillon. We also have 1 packet of Sazon with annatto and coriander. Now you can buy this on Amazon, but if you don't have it, that's okay because I add the same ingredients later on. We also have 18 grams or 1 tablespoon of chopped garlic. We have 100 grams of roasted red pepper that have been sliced thinly and chopped finely. And then we also have 225 grams or about 8 ounces of passata or tomato sauce. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is take 2 tablespoons of olive oil and put them in a pan and heat it up. And once the olive oil has heated, you add in the chicken pieces. Now you can do this in batches if you have a lot of pieces of chicken. Me, I was being lazy and I did them all at the same time. Now, once you've added the chicken pieces, and first I'm being nice and neat, but then after a little bit, I just decided, I'm putting them all in, and I just stuffed them in because they do shrink after a while. So I had just enough to cover the pan. Once it's in, you want to season it with adobo. Now you can either buy adobo, and you can buy that from Amazon, and the link will be down below, or you can make your own, and I will link to my adobo seasoning video here. Once you've seasoned one side, flip the chicken over to the other side, and you can season it again. Now, seasoning this is per your taste, so you can decide just how much you want to add, but you can be liberal with it. Once you've seasoned it on both sides, you want to continue to cook the chicken until it is cooked through. And you'll see that because it's chicken thighs, they've released some of their fat, so there's a nice bit of liquid at the bottom. And once it's cooked, and it's about 7 to 10 minutes, you can then remove them, put them to the side, and then you're going to work on your base of your gumbo. So we've added another about tablespoon of olive oil to a pot, and then we're adding the onions and the peppers, and we're going to saute them and cook them until they start to get tender. And that's about another 5 to 7 minutes, really. And if they start smoking and you don't want them to stick to the bottom of the pan, you can add a little bit of water if you want. Then next add in the garlic and add in a teaspoon of dried oregano. Add in the Sazon and give it all a good stir. Now you want to make sure that nothing sticks to the bottom of the pan and that nothing's burning. So once you stir that up, I like to add in just a little bit of water so that it coats the bottom of the pot, and you can start to see that already this glorious little red coloring starts to happen and the base starts to come together. And this is the basis of the flavor for the gumbo. Now I'm going to add in some more oregano, half a teaspoon. I'm also going to add in half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Next, I add in half a teaspoon of ground coriander, followed by half a teaspoon of turmeric, which will give it more color. And then I'm also adding in half a teaspoon of cumin. Now, if you don't have Sazon, those are the ingredients for Sazon. Now, the packet that I put in had the annatto and the coriander, but then you put more of all of those ingredients, and that gives it the flavor that the Sazon packet gives, as well as color. That's what it looks like once the base is ready. Next, you add in the passata. Make sure you get all of that passata in there. And it's not that much passata, so the carb count isn't going to be very big. Remember, this is 6 servings worth of soup once it's done. So once you've added the passata, give it a good stir. Next, we're going to add in the chicken, and I like to include the juices because it makes it nice and fatty, not too fatty. You're not going to get congealed stuff across the top, but it gives it the nice healthy fat that we're looking for. Next, I added 2.5 pints of water, or about 8 cups of water, and I give everything a really good mix. The next thing that I'm going to do is add in the chicken bouillon. Now, until this point, I've been cooking over a medium-high heat, but at this point, I want to crank up the heat because I've added a lot of water and I want to bring it to a boil. So make sure that you have it on high heat. Next, I'm adding the cauliflower rice, and I'm adding 300 grams of frozen cauliflower rice straight from the freezer. That's perfectly fine, but you can add even up to 600 grams if you want it to be a bit chunkier. And that's the equivalent of about 2 very large heads of cauliflower. So once that's in, stir it in. It will break up on its own, not to worry. And then afterwards, I'm going to add in salt and pepper to taste. Now, this is according to your taste, but this is a large pot and it's 6 servings. So you want to make sure that you're not under seasoning it. So add your salt and pepper, give it a mix, taste it, and if it needs a bit more, then add a bit more. So go ahead and give this all a really good stir. And then next, I'm going to add in a few more of the final ingredients and we're ready to go. So I'm adding 6 olives, and that's optional. I'm adding the roasted red pepper, and I'm also adding 1 tablespoon of coriander paste. Now, once I give this a good stir, I am going to lower the heat to a simmer and simmer this for 25 to 30 minutes. I cannot wait. Yes, woohoo!
Okay, so here it is, and you see it's got a lot of nice liquid, so it's soupy, but it's also got some great chunks of chicken and the cauliflower rice. So it is time to taste this puppy and see if I have done it justice. And my peoples. Oh! Excuse me, I'm gonna take a little bit more. Oh, so good. So good. Oh, and you know what? I don't even miss the rice, really, at this point. It doesn't taste like cauliflower. It tastes just like rice, actually. And it's got just that enough bite to make it feel like rice. It hasn't turned to mush. It hasn't stayed too tough. Nothing. It is perfect. I don't miss rice at all. This is a beauty. And it reminds me of the asopaos my mom made. And just, oh, seriously, you need to make this. And let me know how you get on with this, because this is gorgeous. And it makes a big pot. So, make the pot And just, if it's just you or if it's just a couple of you, then just divide it and you've got lunch or dinner for at least a couple of days. But this is a fantastic dish to just have, again, on a cold night or a cold day, just when you want something nice and warm. I can guarantee you some of that will be traveling with me into work tomorrow. So, woohoo! This. Do it, Denise, girl. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm gonna go eat this, but until next time, I say to you, have a wonderful week. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you like what I do, click the subscribe button and click the bell, because the bell notifies you whenever I upload a new video. And if you love what I do and want to help create more content, consider becoming one of my patrons on the Patreon website, because it's with your support that I can continue doing amazing stuff like this, because this rocks. So until next time, I say to you, have a fantastic week and foodie bye. I'm gonna go eat!